Welcome, boys and girls. This is The Big Angle, and my name is Billy Angler. You may remember my face from the Old Maid card deck. I was the model for Billy Angler. Well, that got my start in show business and got me this big show. Today we have a special guest who expects us to swallow his story hook, line, and sinker. Hey, Jonah, look what I caught today fly fishing. Yep, it's a big one. You know, Billy, I'm a little bit older than you, and I think I can probably teach you a few things about fly fishing because you really don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's okay, Billy. We can talk about things. We're among friends here, and I can learn a few things from you, and you can learn a few things from me. And today we're going to hear your story. Quite an amazing story. Let's go. What happened to you? What is your day job, by the way? My day job is really a prophet of the Lord. The Lord gives me words. He actually puts them in my mouth. It's kind of like bait. You know, I have to take those words, and those words cannot go away from me. They have to stay with me. They're burned into my very soul. Sounds very, I don't know, something I'm not familiar with, but go ahead. So the Lord told me that I was to go to a very large city, the city of Nineveh. It was a very wicked city. How wicked was it? It was so wicked that when you go to Burger King and you ask them if you could have it your way, well, they'll tell you to go home and make it yourself. Whoa. Also, if a little boy or a little girl gets a bowl of porridge put in front of her or him by his mama, she'll take it away before he can even take one bite. Oh, no. The city's so wicked that water runs away. Whoa. They're so wicked that they named the city after a goddess, and the goddess had to do with fish. It came from the word fish, oddly enough. Nineveh was so wicked that the sheep are not even sheepish. The city of Nineveh is so wicked that when a man comes home from work, he barks at the dog. Oh, my word. The city of Nineveh is so wicked that when the stranger comes to the house, he is shown the door before he even comes into the house. Wow, that sounds like a really bad place to live. Maybe the top 10. So what did you do? Well, to tell you the truth, Billy, I was not a very good prophet. I was a runaway prophet. You see, I was very angry at the Lord. I did not want to go to this city. I did not want to give the word of the Lord, so I ran away from God. Well, I didn't think that was possible. Doesn't he know where you are at all times? He does, and he knew exactly where I was. I got on board a ship that was sailing in another direction. I got along with a bunch of sailors. I blended in with them. They didn't know who I was. I just kind of disguised myself and my purposes. God knew where I was for sure, because a great storm began to rise up. The ship was tossing to and fro. It was going over to the right. It was going over to the left. We were going up, and we were going down. I think I'm getting a little seasick here. Well, the rest of these sailors were also getting very seasick. So they began to each, one by one, cry out to their gods. And there were many of them that they were crying out to. Finally, I just told them, look, guys, this is not going to work. I am the reason that this is happening. So they said, what do you mean? What can we do? Cry out to your God. I said, I'm running away from my God. That is why this is happening. The only solution for you is for you to throw me overboard. Wow, did they do that? That must have really gone against their grain. That's just not what sailors do. Dude, that is correct. But I convinced them that this is what they needed to do in order to save themselves. So they threw me overboard, and I was going down, down, down into the depths of the water. The waters overwhelmed me, and my life flashed before my eyes. So suddenly, this large, gaping black hole appeared from behind. And suddenly, Billy, I was in the belly of a large fish. Some might call it a whale. I was down inside of the belly for 3 days. Wow, that must have been kind of gross. I think it must have been kind of slimy in there. It was gross, Billy, but it gave me a lot of time to think. I thought about God keeping me alive. He must really want me to do this. And I should have obeyed the Lord because he trusted me with this word he put in my mouth. So at the end of the 3 days, I cried out to the Lord. And you know what, Billy? What? He heard me, even inside of the belly of a fish. And the fish started moving, and I could feel it moving, kind of like a submarine. You know what that sounds like? Does that sound like, Jonah? What? It sounds like you reinvented the whale. God kind of turned it into a submarine, didn't he? Yes, that is correct. Well, here's the really gross part now. The fish threw me up onto land. There I was, laying in fish vomit. Yuck. You know what? I don't think I'm going to be eating any cream of wheat for a few weeks. Well, I decided to go and preach this word to Nineveh because I kept my word to the Lord. It was 3 days to walk through the entire city. I cried out to them that in 40 days the city would be overthrown if they did not repent. And do you know what happened, Billy? No, what? I bet you're going to tell me. I am. They all repented, from the greatest to the least, in sackcloth and ashes. That showed their determination, and God forgave the whole city. You know, even if you're inside of a whale or a fish and you've disobeyed God, no matter wherever you are, God can hear you if you cry out to him. Well, that's a great story. I think that we'd like to have you come back on another day. Tell us some more of your experiences on the open sea. I'd like to hear more about that. And plus, I'd like for us to have a fishing day. Would you like to go fishing, Jonah? No, Billy. Thank you very much. But I think my fishing days are over. Well, thank you, folks, for watching The Big Angle. This is me, Billy Angler, wishing you a great catch.